Okay, in staying with the theme of ab workouts and six-pack abs and everything else like this, I wanted to talk about using a slide board. We use it a ton for abdominal work. You can also, the great thing about this concept and what I'm showing you is you can do it at home. With a towel on a wooden floor instead of these slides you can use. If you get a pad or something so your elbows are supported and you're not beating yourself up too bad, this is something that is easily done in a DIY version. But I talked about leverage, and so if you think about this pole as being somebody's body, the further they slide back in this direction, the more leverage they're getting. So someone would be planted here with their elbows in a plank, their feet on here. I'm going to show you the actual exercise in a minute, but you'll get the concept. And so their head's over here and their legs are outstretched. As they start sliding back this way, the load on the abdominal wall gets to be greater. Now, oftentimes I'll see clients going back and forth with speed. They do that because they can't hold the integrity of the abdominals in place while they're sliding back. So you don't want to make this a super fast exercise. You just want to make it a steady exercise. And then the other thing is you want to make sure that your back is not sagging when you do it, because if your back starts to sag, it's because you can't keep the tension in the abdominal wall. So typically when I start with people on this exercise, I start from an elbowed position like this. They'll come down here. Their elbows are on here. I like to hold this right here. And then what they do is they can come up into a pike. Now the reason why I start with the pikes first is because we're actually shortening the lever. By bringing the legs closer to my head, I unload on the core. The next level would be in a plank position like this, and then sliding backwards this way. Now I'm lengthening the lever all the way to here, so the load on my core is much greater, okay? So that's the second level on that. Now you can do mountain climbers and do some other things like that so that you're alternating legs and then you're only loading half of the side at a time. The next level up is to go into a push-up position like this and come here into this position and then slide back. Now the lever's even longer because I'm using my arms to come back and then coming forward. So this is actually is harder because once I come down to here, I've shortened the lever because the pivot point is at my elbow. So I've taken almost a foot off of the length of the lever by coming to my forearm. So it's going to be a much easier pull. Eventually, where you want to get is you want to get to a fully extended position, and I tell clients to pick a letter. So in this case, they come back and they grab that letter, and then they come back till finally they can come all the way down. So you can either do it in a slide or do it in a pike. Now if you go from the push-up position into the pike, it works really well. Now one of the other variations of the body saw that I like a lot, because remember in the first video I talked about hitting lower abs versus upper abs. I think this one really hits my lower abs really, really well. So what I do is I come down in this position and it's a pelvic tilt on the slide board. So I'm here, I come way back and hold the position, and then I curl up and come down. Curl up, come down, curl up. So what's happening is my pelvis is rotating and loading way out on the abdominal wall. So that's a great exercise you can do using a slide board or any other type of DIY version.